What's up, fellow Bravo bros, Bravoteers? So today I was going to do some work on the Mitsubishi Bravo that I recently picked up from Wesley. U43V, U44V, same difference. The Bravo van, both the Bravos, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, have the same steering stabilizer bushings. That's what I'm going to be replacing, and that's what we're going to be doing. I have end links and sway bar bushings coming from Japan. I don't have any on hand right now, but I did have the steering stabilizer bushings, which these ones are shot on the van. So that's what we're going to be replacing. I did do them on my Bravo up there. I did the steering stabilizer bushings, the sway bar bushings, and the end link bushings. So if you're driving your van and you hear a little clunky clunk when you're going over bumps and stuff, it's most likely the sway bar knocking around in the sway bar bushings, or could be the steering stabilizer bushings. Those usually help you keep the van stable when you're driving so you don't get the death wobbles. So that's what I'm going to be replacing while I wait for the other bushings. So let's get to it. Okay, so it's a fairly straightforward job, pretty easy. The kit from Mitsubishi comes with both sides, so I will have these in the store when I eventually get the other stuff from Japan. But both bushings for both sides, the giant front washers, nuts, and the lock washer. And this is what I'm talking about right here, that guy. So there's your nice steering stabilizer, and it goes and mounts on the lower control arm. So I have it jacked up right now, just so when we unbolt it, it kind of wants to move back and forth a little bit, so we can get the holes to line back up on the bar and the control arm, so I can physically push, because the control arm will go back and forth, front to back, as soon as that bar is removed. That's basically stabilizing it. So I have it in the air so we can move it back and forth just to get everything to line up. So right now I think it's like a 17 millimeter maybe. So I'm gonna go get that. I jacked it up on the center point there. You could put jack stands underneath it. I'm not, because I'm not going to be under it, but I just want to be able to get these wheels off the ground so it floats back and forth. So let me go get my wrench and such. Okay, so you're going to need a 17 millimeter. Unfortunately, I can't get a deep socket on because the intercooler hose is in the way. So if you use a normal socket, just be careful, don't slip off the nut. So we're going to get that off. I'm going to take that off completely, and then we're going to work on getting those guys underneath the control arm taken off. So let me loosen this up. Alright, almost got this nut off, and then as soon as we get this one off, we can work on the back two on the control arm. And sometimes these nuts are pretty rusty up here, or painted. So we're going to want to take all these washers and stuff off. And just word to the wise, do one at a time, just in case you get confused as to what goes how and where. So then you can look at the other side and go, okay, that's how it goes on here. So now we have the two right here. I think they're 14 mils. I hope they're 14 mils because that's all I grabbed. Yeah, okay, so there's two 14 millimeters on the end of the strut stabilizer bar, and steering stabilizer bar, I should say. So I'm gonna knock those off now with a 14 mil. But while I'm down here, this is what I'm saying. So here's your sway bar bushings. If those get loose, worn out and loose, the sway bar will knock around. So I do have these coming, these bushings. And then here are your end links. Now those are definitely, man, it's really hard to get my phone in there. These are definitely worn out and cracked. And they're kind of, you can see they're kind of flopping around a little bit. So they're definitely not as stiff as they should be. So like I said, I do have this coming as well. It's basically all the bushings, these washers, and the metal sleeve. And then I think it even comes with the long bolt. But anyways, we'll do that at another time. But those are 3 things you should replace: the end link bushings, sway bar bushings, and your steering stabilizer bushings. I forgot to mention, on the bottom of the stabilizer bar, there is a nut and a lock washer. So 14 mil on top and a 14 mil underneath, holding it while you're loosing it. Okay, so both bolts have been removed. So technically, we should just be able to slide that out. Yes. So we'll slide that out. Take our bar out. And then we will reinstall the bushings. And I think the bushings are the same. So no, I'll take that back. One's got a lip and one is lipless. And this one goes in big end first, and then this one goes little end first. So let me get the bushings on. Okay, so I cleaned it up with a wire brush real quick, just to kind of get the bad stuff off. And then I got some bushing grease. Doesn't have it, but I figure it's not going to hurt anything if we put a little bushing grease in there. Keep those bushings happy on the metal part. So looks like the end with the double rings goes on the inner part, and I want to try to spread that bushing grease around, which probably just gonna be all mostly on the end here. Looks like flour. Cocaina. Just kidding, don't do drugs. And then they end with our little pokey thing. We'll go on like this when we get it up on there with our new washer on the outside. They're really soft with that white cocaine on them. Okay, so I'm going to get these up in there now. Okay, so I got the bar put back up in there, just on the one bushing side, obviously. When you go to put those bolts back in through the bar and in the control arm, since that bushing is fat and brand new, you're going to need to push on the wheel a little bit, push it back, so then you can get the holes to line up and have the bolts drop in. So now we can put the other bushing on there, which is the that end goes in first. Ugh. Oh my gosh, my arm. And then we can put that guy on there. Patitos. And then we can tighten that all up. So let me get everything all tightened up. Now, unfortunately, I can't. Actually, I can do this. You guys can see it. So we'll get this tightened back up. It's raining, and now the patitos are freaking out. Tighten all back up. Actually, what I'm going to do is get the nuts and lock washers on the back real quick in case those try to pop out. Put the control on. Okay. Let's tighten this guy up. Patitos, what's going on? So basically, this one will just cinch up as tight as it can. And then we'll tighten up the back ones now. It'll bottom out on the threads, so you can go as tight as you can on that. Don't think you're going too tight or too loose. It will stop when it's done on the threads. Oh, cool. Okay, so now hopefully you can see. Now I'm going to tighten all these back up now. Okay, so that is retightened back up on the control arm. That is as tight as it goes up here. So our old bushings. Here's our old bushings getting cracked, definitely worn out. That'll cause some unstable driving, but very easy job to do. And so are the sway bars, bushings, and the end links. I'll do a video on that when I get those parts in, but I've only got these in, so the only video I'll make today. But I'll go ahead, yeah, and do the other side. It's the same as that side, so I don't need to show it. And my arm's killing me from trying to hold the phone at the same time. And it's raining, and I need to hurry up. Put the patitos away because it's getting dark. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Real easy to replace those strut front steering stabilizer bushings. And I will have those in the store as soon as I get more from Japan for the Bravo. I'm guessing the Minicabs are probably the same as far as the front end goes. So if your Minicab, Bravo, worn out, replace them, drive safe. Check out okgarage.com if you need parts. I got oil filters for these Bravos, air filters for the carbureted, spark plugs for both. So anyways, check out the website if you need some parts. Like, subscribe if you like, all that cool stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.